This book changed my life. I don't know if you can see it, and I lost the cover. I've had this book for 20 years, I believe. Let me look at the copyright on it. I know the book has to be, I don't know. Let me look at I pulled it out of my bookshelf. The name of the book is called Multiple Streams of Income by Robert G. Allen. And I read this book early 2000s. It had to be maybe 2002, between 2002 and 2006. I can't think of when, but I read this not too long after I read Rich Dad Poor Dad, which is another book that I'm going to talk about, which I know is tons of stuff on YouTube and about it. This book, okay, Multiple Streams of Income, copyright 2000 by Robert G. Allen. And I need to make a link at the bottom so that you can purchase it on Amazon, because let me tell you something. I know they have this on Kindle. I'm the type of person that likes to mark things up. You see, I write in my books. And I have been using these strategies for years. Now, I'm one of those people, and that's another story for another day. I would be textbook ADHD. So anything they say is ADHD, I'm probably textbook that. But I never taken any medicine for it. I just lived through it. And it's been a superpower for me because I've always come out on top. Now, part of it, some of it, I believe has contributed to me being impulsive and gaining weight, not having discipline. But that's another story for another day. I have been a teacherpreneur. I've been a teacher, a public school teacher for, this is my 16th year. I worked in corporate for 10. Today is my birthday, y'all. And so I said, let me come on here and talk about teacherpreneurs, because my mindset about teaching is a little different from other people's. Okay. I teach, I love to help people. So I think most people who teach, they love to help people. But I think a lot of teachers have only been teachers. They didn't have other jobs. I had several other jobs before teaching. And I worked in industries where you didn't need a degree. And I know tons of people who make way more money than people who have degrees. I know that sales is a skill that you just have to have. I know insurance, real estate, just people in all industries that may not have a degree, but they're making great money. They understand finance. They understand how to invest money. And that I feel is key. But I wanted to talk specifically about why I think that teachers should turn into teacherpreneurs. Now, I did not coin this term teacherpreneur, but I'm using it. Okay. What is a teacherpreneur? So we know an entrepreneur is someone who pretty much paves their own way. They're not necessarily a big business owner. They may or may not have employees, but they pretty much make their own schedule, get their own customers. They have to know how to do multiple things. They're not W-2 employees. Okay. A W-2 employee will be somebody who, gets a steady check on the 15th and the 30th, or once a month or once a week. And, they have a consistent amount of money coming in. It's more predictable. Entrepreneurship, your money is up and down. And I have been both. Majority of my life, I've been a W-2 employee, and I'm still a W-2 employee. Let me tell you why. I left corporate America to be an entrepreneur full time, but I left during the heyday of when the real estate market crashed. And I am a realtor with Keller Williams, ShanikaMatthew.com. And people are like, oh, you do a lot. I do. But the reason why is because I read this book years ago. Multiple Streams of Income by Robert G. Allen. And I'm not going to read it verbatim and talk about, on my channel, I'm going to be, kind of reviewing different things, key points about this. But this book was written 23, almost 24 years ago. And again, I had to get it. I'm assuming I bought it in between 03 and 07. And the reason why is because I know it was around the time when I was buying up real estate, when everybody else was, by 2006, 2007, I had probably 4 houses under my name by itself. They wasn't under my LLC. It was under my name. And it was easy to get a house then. Let's just be clear. So much different from now, where it's a lot of red tape. And so I do own a home, but I don't own as many as I did then. I own a lot of timeshares. But anyway, so just to talk about it, it talks about just you can't depend on just one stream of income. Now I say I have one W-2 source and several 1099s or several other things that I do. For example, unshackledlearning.com, that's connected to my Teachers Pay Teachers page, and I sell all kind of things geared towards teachers that they can use in their classroom. I have 190 products, digital products on unshackledlearning.com. And then travel, unshackledtravel.com, I sell travel. So all things travel, preferably resorts, all inclusive, and cruises are mainly what I focus on. I really don't sell, plane tickets. We don't really make money from that. And those are just a couple of the streams. I love the number 7, and I like to have 7 streams. Let's just be clear. So in this book, they talk about having different streams. Of course, real estate is one of them. Of course, stocks are one of them. Back then, the internet was just becoming popular. I've been making money on the internet for over 20 years. When people talk about, digital product, I've been selling stuff on the internet since before Amazon. People were selling stuff on Amazon. I was selling stuff on eBay. I was selling, I always had a website. You can Google my name and you'll see. But I say that to say, when I came into teaching in 2008 in public school, I noticed I felt connected to my people when it comes to the desire to learn, because I'm around people, educators, it's like you're incentivized for having a lot of degrees, in the public school. So the more degrees you have, the more money you make. So that was easy for me because I'm a real nerd. I embrace my nerddom, and I love learning and love reading. I have maybe anywhere from 200 to 500 books at my house alone, because I have books on various subjects. You will be surprised of the things that I read. But I love this type of stuff. Business books. I kind of consume this. And a lot of this stuff is relevant. And now, people trying to repackage it like it's new. It's not. But I feel like being both an entrepreneur and a teacher, so I'll say a teacherpreneur, I see things differently than most teachers. Most teachers, especially if they're older, they're focused on just being smart at that one thing. Smart at only, you teach math, that's only the thing you focus on. You don't know nothing about nothing else. You teach English, you just so deep in it, but you don't know how to leverage your knowledge. And my thing is, since I've been teaching, y'all, we get beat up on. We're blamed for all the ills of society. Let's be clear, right? When are you going to take your knowledge and level up? That's the question that I have, because I know so many talented people, and I'm like, why you just don't record a video and have a YouTube channel about this? It's your intellectual property. Why don't you, you know how to do, you good at decorating. Why don't you have a decorating business? You're so good at teaching. Why don't you have a tutoring business? You don't have to tutor the kids in your classroom. It's plenty of people online that you can be doing. It's so many things I see in people. And I guess that's why I teach what I teach. I'm a career teacher. I see it on people and I'm like, you need to be, and I'm good at that. I do that with my students and I do it with adults. So I think my calling, I know my calling, I'm not going to say I think, is for Generation Z, but also for teachers to let them know you have more power than you think. Don't let people think you need them. They need you. They need your knowledge, your skill set, right? Your persistence, your tenacity. All right? I call this video Rise of the Teacherpreneur, because we have to take our lives back. It's not guaranteed. Nothing is guaranteed. We may say, we want to teach because we want to get a set pension and this and that. Anything could go wrong. I've seen too many stories. Look at Enron. We forget about Enron. Now, that wasn't teaching, but those people thought, oh, no, this stock is so good. There's anything can happen, even with teacher's pension. There are several stories of people who thought they was going to have a pension, and that money was invested whatever kind of way, and everything went flat. So if that happens, worst case scenario, You can't go by what historical data, because we're in a different generation now. We're going to come into it. We're coming into an era. We're postmodern, right? Some people call it the fourth industrial revolution, or postmodern era, or age of AI. Y'all, AI can do. I have AI created videos. The non-faceless video. Most of the videos that I've recently posted that didn't have my face, that had a different voice, they were AI generated. Now, did I do some work? It wasn't just AI just doing it. I had to feed the machine, right? I had to put information. I had to put some work in. I had to have enough knowledge here to do it. But it pumped it out way quicker than I could have. I just had to know how to edit, tell it what to do, make some changes in this and that, and boom. Okay? I say that because, y'all, the new capital is attention. If you look, the biggest problem that most teachers have with students right now is that they don't pay attention because they right here on their phone. It's like the TV has been brought into the classroom. It's like the camera and the video has been brought into the class. It's like the gaming system has been brought because of the phone. Now, mind you, I worked for the phone company for 10 years. Verizon Wireless, AT&T. I worked for them for 10 years. I knew how the technology was going to roll. I didn't know it was going to be like this. I left in 2007, 2008. But I had foresight and understanding enough to know what the end game was. Eventually, the machines, teachers, we're not going to really be needed much. We're just facilitators. And they may not, if you look, there's a lot of articles, and I'll put some stuff on my Shackles Off TV. There are teachers, remember 3 years ago, we were zooming in over from home, and a lot of people didn't know we could do it, but I've been saying it like, y'all, we were doing this in corporate America like 10, 15 years ago. Where you been? Education takes a long time to catch up, right? So while we're waiting for that machine, the bureaucracy machine to go through, why aren't you out there selling stuff on Teachers Pay Teachers? Why aren't you uploading stuff on YouTube? Y'all, it's only 4.6 or so billion people online right now that have access to the internet. The rest of those people are trying to get basic skills. And when the infrastructure is built, it's going to be way more competition on the market. But most of the competition is going to be here because they're going to be learning about different cultures through video. Okay? There's another book I have, and I have a big, extensive audio library as well. And I want to say, I can't think of the exact name of the book, and it's going to come to me, but it was about the Internet of Things. If you understand the Internet of Things, you understand what we call net zero. Everything is going to get so cheap where you're not going to be able to really make money. And besides other things, understanding that technology, running that technology, what's behind it. That's why I work in STEM, because I understand that. We got to wake up, y'all. It's not the same world it was in 1994 when I graduated high school. It's not. And some of our teachers who are my age and older, we still stuck in 70s, the 80s, the 90s. We got to break up. Reading, y'all, don't just read those English books. Just don't read those math books. You need to be reading business books about how to get multiple streams of income. You need to be watching YouTube channels like mine, like channels like Social Proof, EYL University. I watch these people. You need to be, studying how to make money in social media. You need to be marketing yourself out of the classroom like I did. I'm just saying, nothing is guaranteed. If things change tomorrow and that pension is not pensioning like it needs to pension in 10 years, 5 years, what you gonna do? Rise of the teacherpreneur.